Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Thursday, the 6th of April. Good to have you aboard. We are a Blue Wire podcast. However you're listening to us, make sure you like, you rate, you comment, you do all that fun stuff. I really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who's been with us, especially from day number one. Our title sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0, Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys. 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. If you've been involved in an accident, you make sure you call 911 first. Then you get an attorney on the phone immediately when you call Anidjar and Levine. Mark Anidjar, Glenn Levine, Ellie Anidjar. I'm not sending you to anybody else because there's no need to go see anybody else. Let them get you the money that you deserve no matter what kind of accident you were involved in. You're dealing with an injury. Anidjar and Levine accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE. They will take care of it for you. So, we got a lot going on here today. Very meaningful NBA tonight as the season is wrapping up this weekend. Very meaningful NHL tonight as the season is wrapping up in a week from tonight. Playoff implications on the line for both of our teams. You had the Marlins yesterday. They won a series. They scored more than a run. A pair of home runs from Jorge Soler. The team's off today. They're on the road tomorrow for the first time this year. They got a weekend series against the New York Mets. So the Marlins won 5-2 yesterday. Jesus Luzardo has looked money so far this season. So back-to-back tremendous performances from Alcantara and Luzardo. And the Marlins broke out the whooping stick yesterday. 5 home runs. They beat the Twins 5-2 yesterday. So there you have it. We're going to talk to Jared Greenberg from NBA on TNT. He's got the sidelines tonight. He's reporting from Heat and Sixers this evening. We'll certainly talk a lot about that, all right? But first thing I want to get to here. Went to the movies yesterday. You know how this goes. With my older son, we like to see a lot of the horror movies, all right? We go to the theater for those. My younger son, we see all the superhero movies together and the animated movies. And my younger son is way into Nintendo. Loves video games, way into Super Smash Brothers, all those characters. So, Super Mario Brothers came out. Now, you know the way this goes. Movies used to come out on a Friday. Then you could see the midnight premiere, because that's technically Friday on Thursday nights. Then movies started to come out. All right, let's just make it 8 p.m. on Thursday night. Now, you could see movies in the afternoon on Thursday. Well, Super Mario Brothers has taken it to another level. Wednesday afternoon is when they release the movie. Now, does that have anything to do with Easter weekend? I don't know. But it's such cheating by these movies, by these studios, because they want to get that massive opening weekend number. Well, you're going to get a massive number when it's not just 3 days, now it's 5 days. So, but what the hell do I care? So Super Mario Brothers came out yesterday. Yeah. Me and my son. Actually, I ended up taking both boys because my older one's on vacation right now for Passover break. But we went to see Super Mario Brothers yesterday. I've had the tickets for weeks, obviously, and the movie's fun. Like, there's no way. And look, Nintendo came out, I think I was 5 years old, 5 or 6 years old. So there's a huge nostalgia factor. Like, I'm into seeing the Mario Brothers movie, and I understood pretty much everything that was going on. I mean, my younger son, oh my God, he knew everything. Every nook and cranny about the movie he understands. But from the theme, from the music, from the instrumentals, to the characters, to funny lines, like there's one line where Mario is going to meet up with the princess in the movie, and the Toadstools who are guarding the princess, they tell Mario, we're sorry, but the princess is in another castle. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's funny. I get that joke. I understand that. I was a little kid. You beat, the fourth world, and it's not the real Bowser. And then they tell you, I'm sorry, the princess is in another castle. I get that joke. That's funny. So there was little stuff like that in the movie, which I really enjoyed. There's no way that you're not going to like the movie, all right? Now, the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, last I checked, was 53%. The audience score, 96%. Audiences love it. So there's nothing not to like about it. The movie's a lot of fun. There was one thing going into Super Mario Brothers where they don't have accents. There was, from what I understand, there was some pushback where, because Chris Pratt plays the voice of Mario. You're not Italian. You don't have an Italian accent. They totally give an explanation as to why Mario and Luigi do not have Italian accents. They addressed that immediately. And I really dug the way that they, the whole origin story, all of it. I thought it was a cool little background that they gave the characters. I really liked how they did that. The one thing that I would say about the movie that I didn't like, and it's not something about the movie actually, Super Mario Brothers is a good example of why I don't like watching trailers. When the new superhero movie comes out, I try not to watch any trailers. I want everything to be a total surprise. I want to know nothing except for what I know. And this movie is a good example of why I feel that way. I felt like I saw most of the movie from the trailers. The movie is good. It's a lot of fun. Really enjoyable. But I think I would have enjoyed it more if I didn't see any trailers. Or maybe I saw part of one. But if I didn't see any trailers, I would have definitely enjoyed the movie even more. Because I feel like I saw the whole movie. I'm not going to say it's one of those movies where they use all the good jokes, all the good scenes are in the trailer, but it's close to that. Felt close. So that's not a problem with the movie. The movie's good. But I wish I didn't see any trailers. I wish I went into the movie practically blind as to what was going to happen, who's going to be in it, and all that good stuff. There's a lot that you didn't see in the trailers, like Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong I thought was really fun. But that's the only negative that I came away from it. And if that's the case, look, maybe that's on me, It certainly doesn't mean it's not a good movie. But that's the only drawback I found. Otherwise, I know people were messaging me on Twitter, ZASLOW, is it good? Should I see it? First of all, I saved my movie review for the next day. But also the answer is, yeah, you should go see it, of course. There's no way you're walking, the movie sucked. There's no way. If you think the movie's not good, you went into it not wanting to like it. There's no way. I feel the same way about the Fast and the Furious movies. And I've only seen a couple of them. But you go see Fast and the Furious, it's ridiculous if you walk outside and like it. What didn't you like? What was not to like? Was it not everything you thought it was going to be? If you don't like a movie like that, you're going into it wanting to not like it. Same thing with this Super Mario Brothers. Really enjoyed it. Fun movie. Theater was packed on a Wednesday afternoon. Packed. So go see Super Mario Brothers. Really enjoyed that. If you got the kids, you'll like it. If you're around my age, I'm 42 years old. I played Nintendo from the day it came out, And if you were a Nintendo kid and you obviously meant you're a Super Mario Brother player, you're gonna really enjoy the movies. It's got stuff Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, the OG Mario games, and Super Mario Kart's featured pretty prominently in the movie as well. You're gonna really take Jack Black as Bowser. I thought what they did with Bowser was really funny. Not serious at all. There were times he was serious, but Jack Black played it perfect. I really dug it. So, anyway, there you go. Go see Super Mario Brothers if you got kids, or if you're a Nintendo kid, you were a Nintendo kid like I was. Hey, before we continue on here, good opportunity for me to tell you guys about Sheets and Giggles. I love that Sheets and Giggles is on ZASLOW Show 2.0. Tremendous reaction when I told you guys that Sheets and Giggles is on board. If you're not of one of the over 100,000 Americans who are sleeping on Sheets and Giggles right now, that's on you. You're missing out. Because I've been telling you now for a couple weeks, they've been on Levitard Show, the Greg Cody podcast with Greg Cody, Sheets and Giggles now, ZASLOW Show 2.0. I've been telling you, the softest, most comfortable, most breathable sheets I've ever had in my life. For the rest of my life now, I'm a Sheets and Giggles customer. My son has it. My son Jordan has Sheets and Giggles on his bed. My older son Corey's got Sheets and Giggles on his bed. It's the most comfortable comforter I've ever had in my life. It's heavy, but it's soft and it's cool and it's breathable. I really do sleep better because of that comforter. I got the eucalyptus pillow. If you're looking for a eucalyptus mattress, yeah, you can get that at Sheets and Giggles as well. Super environmentally friendly, no pesticides, no insecticides, 400 thread count. You got the extra deep corners, really easy to put on the mattress. You know what I'm talking about there. And like I said, eucalyptus mattress, eucalyptus pillow, waterproof eucalyptus mattress, protector, Sheets and Giggles. Sheets sheetsgiggles.com. My man Colin, he's the founder and CEO of Sheets and Giggles. Huge Miami sports fan. So, look, we're in bed with the right guy here. He's one of us. So, like I said, Sheets and Giggles, the ZASLOW family, we are now 4 of over 100,000 Americans who are sleeping on Sheets and Giggles, and you're going to be as well. Sheetsgiggles.com/ZASLOW. Use my name, ZASLOW, on your checkout, and you get 20% off your first order at Sheets and Giggles. Sheetsgiggles.com. All right, before we get to the heat here, so let me give you a little bit on what's going on with the Panthers. So the Panthers tonight, they're at home against Ottawa. 4 games remaining. Ottawa this weekend at Washington, then home against Toronto and Carolina. Very difficult closing schedule. The Panthers have the Senators tonight who are pretty much done, okay? Here's what we're looking at standings-wise. The Panthers have the first wildcard spot right now. They're tied in points with the Islanders, but the Panthers currently have the tiebreaks. They have one more regulation win than the Islanders. Then you have the Penguins, who are the first team on the outside. They're a point back of both the Panthers and the Islanders. So by the end of tonight, the Panthers could find themselves back on the outside of the playoffs. But they're in a position now because all teams have 4 games remaining. All 3 of those teams where the Panthers control their own fate. The Panthers are a very good team at home, and 3 of these final 4 games are at home. So, the Panthers, they have Ottawa tonight. Pittsburgh is at home against Minnesota. Now, Minnesota's really good. Okay, and Minnesota still has a chance to they could be anywhere from first in their division to a wild card team. So, Minnesota still has a whole lot to play for. Not that the hockey players sit out or anything like that. That's only an NBA thing. So, Pittsburgh, a must-win game. They're on their home ice against Minnesota tonight. The Islanders are tied in points with the Panthers, but they're technically second wildcard team right now. The Islanders are at home tonight as well. They have Tampa. Now, Tampa, they're pretty much... There's an outside chance they could jump to number 2 in the Atlantic, but they're pretty much locked in at number 3 in the Atlantic. Again, that doesn't mean they're going to take it easy. I'm just telling you the stakes there. So the Islanders are playing a really good Tampa Bay team. Pittsburgh is playing a really good Minnesota team. And the Panthers are at home against Ottawa, who is essentially done. Ottawa is not technically done, although by the end of tonight, just looking at it, off the top of my head here, if the Panthers beat Ottawa tonight and the Islanders also win, then Ottawa is out. Ottawa's done. So tonight could be it for the Senators. The Panthers essentially ended the Sabres season a couple nights ago, although not mathematically yet, but I do believe mathematically the Panthers can end the Senators season tonight. So, most importantly though, Panthers, just do your job. Win your games. Now, who's going to be on the ice tonight as far as the Panthers go? There's a team right now that finally seemed like it was getting healthy, and then Sam Bennett cannot stay on the ice. He's missed the last few games, and Sergei Bobrovsky has missed the last 4 games because of an illness. So, let's see what our pal George Richards here from the Morning Skate, let's see what he says if Bobrovsky was out there. Sergei Bobrovsky is not going to be in net tonight. Yeah, George tweets out here, no surprise, but Alex Lyon starts for the Panthers tonight versus Sens. All right, well, look, that may not, maybe Bobrovsky's going to be the backup because Alex Lyon has been red hot. 4 straight wins, all 4 of those games that Bobrovsky's been out, and he's been fantastic. So maybe Bobrovsky is going to be ready to be the backup this evening, but Alex Lyon essentially deserves to keep going with this streak here. What's going on with Sam Bennett? I don't see anything from George here, so I am not sure. I know they were hopeful that he could be back here tonight. I don't know, but my guess is he's not going to be back here tonight. But Bobrovsky maybe he's the backup, but he's definitely not starting. So that's what we have tonight as far as the Panthers go. That's at 7 o'clock. The Heat now. So, there's a lot of playoff implications now. Here's what we got. Excuse me. The Heat are in Philadelphia tonight. TNT, like I said, we're going to talk to Jared Greenberg coming up in a few minutes. The Heat at 42 and 37, 7th in the East. They're essentially locked in, but here's mathematically what we have going on. Brooklyn won last night. Atlanta won last night. They're right behind us. Toronto lost last night. So here's where we're at. Brooklyn has 2 games remaining. The Heat have 3. Atlanta has 2. The Heat are the only one of those 3 teams that are playing tonight. The Heat are 1 win away in their final 3 from winning the Southeast Division, which means they would win the tiebreak against Atlanta and Toronto. So if the Heat win any of these final 3 games, they lock in at least number 7 because of what I just told you. They would own the tiebreak over Atlanta. If they win the Southeast, that means they're going to finish with a better record. And if they're the Southeast winner, Toronto isn't winning their division. That's the first tiebreak as division champion, okay? If you're talking a 2-way tie. So Miami needs to win 1 of their final 3 here to be the 7th seed. And the 7th seed we know is important because not only do you get 2 chances to win 1 game to clinch a playoff spot, but you get 2 chances at home to win 1 game to clinch a playoff spot. And the way it stands right now, Miami would host Atlanta in the play-in to get number 7. If they were to lose there, they would then host the winner of Toronto-Chicago to get number 8. You want to avoid number 8, I suppose, because you don't want Milwaukee. It's not like playing the number 2 Boston Celtics is some picnic either, all right? The best case scenario would have been to find a way to play Philadelphia, either by the Sixers jumping to number 2, or by the Heat finding their way to number 6, so you could play Philly at the 3 seed. So the Heat are 1 win away in their final 3 from clinching number 7 and the Southeast Division title. ZASLOW, how could they get to number 6? We want to play Philly in the first round. Well, the Heat have to go 3-0 in their final 3 games. The Nets have to go 0-2. And I could poo-poo all the Nets all I want, although I don't have anything against the Nets anymore because that imbecile Kyrie Irving's not there now. But I thought this Nets team was going to crash and burn. They had 1 little rut that they went through, and that was it. So I've been dead wrong about the way the Nets were going to finish this season. But the way for the Heat to wind up jumping up to number 6 and having what I think is a much more favorable first-round matchup, I think they could beat Philly. Can't trust Philly whatsoever. The only thing on Embiid's mind is the MVP. The Heat need to go 3-0 their final 3 games. The Nets need to go 0-2. It's not going to happen. The Heat, they're at Philadelphia tonight, all right? Philly, I feel like Philly's going to sit Embiid. He had 52 2 nights ago. But the same thing for the Heat. The Heat may be in a spot where they may want to sit their guys. Now, Bam and Kyle Lowry are questionable tonight. The Heat may not want to play them because you got the second night of a back-to-back tomorrow in Washington. And if we're going to, play the schedule a little bit here, you need 1 win in your final 3. Do you punt this game at Philadelphia and say, all right, at Washington tomorrow night against Orlando Sunday afternoon, all we need to do is win 1 of those games? Well, that's if you feel you can't catch Brooklyn at number 6. Because if you go 3-0 and Brooklyn goes 0-2, you get to number 6. Okay, so let's look at Brooklyn's schedule here. Brooklyn has Orlando and Philadelphia. Now, if it's not enough that Brooklyn is likely going to beat Orlando at home, that last game of the year against Philadelphia, Philly is more than likely going to be locked into number 3 by then, and there is no chance Philadelphia plays any of their guys in the final game of the season, which means absolutely nothing. No chance. So, Brooklyn is likely to get at least 1, if not both of these games. So if that's the case, I could see Miami playing the schedule here and saying, you know what? We think we can go 3-0, but we don't think Brooklyn's going to go 0-2. So let's be smart here. Bam sits tonight. Lowry, who the hell cares? Maybe Jimmy doesn't even play tonight. Back-to-back, they must say, hey, listen, we're going to punt this game tonight. We're going to give ourselves 2 chances to win 1. At Washington, they're terrible. Orlando's not terrible, but Orlando's obviously a team you should beat. They lost to Orlando, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So I think that's probably the way this gets played. That's probably what we wind up seeing here. And I wouldn't even fault the Heat if they do that. Because that's not resting guys in the middle of the season. This is just being smart. This is just being realistic. Where, hey, we're not going to be able to get the number 6 seed. And if we're not going to be able to get the number 6 seed, let's be cautious with Bam. Hell, maybe we even want to be cautious with Jimmy. We'll sit tonight, Philadelphia. We'll play tomorrow at Washington. Although, do the Heat have to take into account that tonight's a national TV game? We'll ask Jared Greenberg about that because the league finds teams now when they're sitting guys in the national games. Now, Bam is listed as questionable. Lowry, who cares? But if they sit Jimmy when he wasn't on the injury report, I don't know. We'll talk to Jared about that. We'll figure out what the deal is there. But the Heat are going to be locked into the 7 seed by the time we get around to Sunday, one way or the other. Either it's because Atlanta lost one of these games or Miami won one of these next 2 games. So number 6, and it's a blown opportunity for Miami. Totally blown opportunity. They had their chance against Brooklyn, and they blew it. So now you get what you deserve. They're going to wind up being number 7. That's where we're at. All right, so there you have it.